So the story doesn't end there. Pretty much after that, so I'm at the youth group, right? So that's where we left off. Okay, so pretty much, so I went back to school the next day after going to this youth group, right? And at school, I didn't have much friends. I only had a few friends, and I was, okay, let's just say, when I was 14 years old, I nearly got expelled. I used to go around bashing up people, picking on people. I got trouble putting a stink bomb in the library. I wasn't a very nice person, okay? So to get respect, I used to really try and hate people and just make their lives miserable, right? My mum used to think I was possessed by the devil. I was so bad. I used to come home and just tip the table over, throw bottles at her, just trash the house. I even chased my sister with a knife. Okay, this is not the Tom that you guys know from YouTube. Okay, but when I went to this youth group, and when I started to experience Jesus and talk to Jesus, I felt, His love, and I felt His presence, and my whole life changed. My whole world changed. I went back to school the next day, and I was actually smiling, and I was happy. Now, I've never been happy or smiling. When I was 10 years old, I told my mum, I said, "Mum, I'll never be happy." I was convinced I'll never be happy. I was depressed growing up. I was depressed. I was suicidal at the age of 14. I tried to slit my wrist. I was thinking about killing myself a lot of the time. This is a guy who's really depressed and suicidal, okay? But I do remember when I was 14 actually thinking about committing suicide, and I heard this voice, and I didn't even really believe in God back then, but I heard this voice say to me, this booming voice, "If you do that, the devil's won." And I didn't even believe in the devil, but I just had this sense that this was God talking to me saying, "I'm here for you, Tom." And I was like, wow. I thought, whoa, maybe God is real. But time went and I forgot about that day, and it wasn't until I was 16 that I remember God saying that. So anyway, so pretty much I came back after this youth group and I was happy. And my friends are like, "What happened to you? What are you happy for? You're never happy. You're never smiling. What's changed? You told me you've changed. What's happened?" And I said, "I've gone to a youth group. I went to church. And I went to this church group. And I came to know, they told me about Jesus and how He loves me and stuff. And my friends are like, whoa, They weren't into the whole Jesus stuff. It's not cool, how it is. It's not cool. But they were really, really respecting where I was coming from. They're like, whoa, people started to look up to me. And I started to take initiative. So I kept going to this youth group and kept talking to Jesus and kept reading the Bible and all this stuff. And people were like, I had the support of other Christians. And I started to get really passionate about things I'm not usually passionate about. I joined the social justice group, and I actually became, at 18 years old, in my last year of high school, I was actually voted in the president of social justice. And we wrote letters to politicians, and we wrote letters to the ambassador of Nigeria even. I remember one time watching the TV, and they were going to stone this girl to death. And I wrote a letter along with all my other, the group, saying, how you shouldn't stone this woman to death because only God should be the judge, blah, blah, blah. 2 weeks later, I watched the news and it says, and this woman has been set free, and she's not going to be stoned to death. And I thought, whoa, that's God. That's God moving. And so God's moved a lot of the time. Another coincidence is in the IRA. The IRA, back in when they were fighting, Ireland and England were fighting, I prayed to God. I said, "God, please let them put their guns down. Please let there be peace. Please, Jesus." And, a couple of days later, I turned the TV on and it said, And for the first time ever, the IRA have put their weapons down. You know? And I thought, whoa, that is Jesus. And I started to realise that Jesus is really listening to my prayers. Yeah, so it was awesome. And I like to make these longer, but I keep running out of time. But hang on, I've decreased the megabyte, the pixelation, so hopefully I can fit more in. So pretty much, yeah, so this is my story, guys. I'm just sharing my story. I'm just going to continue for the next couple of video blogs to continue to share where I'm coming from. This is how I see the world. This is the way I see things, so you can just get an understanding of where I'm coming from and respect my opinion better, and maybe even consider, I don't know, even believing in God yourself if you don't believe in God. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I mean, really, I thought Christianity was really boring and stuff, but it's so awesome. My life is so more exciting now. Like, just so much things are happening that wouldn't have happened if I wasn't a Christian. So yeah, guys, thanks for listening.